the next course is going to be, we're going to talk about a product called Nextbase, okay? How many of you guys have seen something like this or have used this? Okay, all right. So what this was designed is to eliminate the actual road base, right? For pedestrian
use. You guys catch that? This is designed to be able to eliminate the road base. In other words, type 2 is not needed when you use this Nextbase.
For residential applications, so foot traffic, not vehicular, okay? So for example, okay, so you have an area in the backyard, okay, so you're gonna excavate traditionally for pavers, right? You put in, how many inches of road base you guys generally put for residential? About 4 inches, okay? So typically, you're gonna install about 4 inches of road base, an inch of sand, and then let's just say 3/4 inch for pavers, right? So how many inches of excavation is that?
About 5 to 6.
Okay, so this is 3/4 of an inch, okay? And these have an interlocking tongue and groove, okay? And they also have drainage. You can see slots in here for drainage, okay? And it also has, so this one replaced our product called Easy Base. That's where I get the 5/8 from. So this is 3/4 inch. So each panel is gonna be slightly over 6 square feet per panel, okay? They come in bundles of 10, so you're gonna get over 60 square feet in a bundle. So we do have competitor product out there. Ours is a larger footprint, so when you're comparing price, make sure you compare total square foot, because ours is a larger scale versus our competitors, right? The other benefit of this is true modular. So it depends on, like if you're laying them side by side this way or this way, they're gonna modulate. The other thing that these do modulate is they modulate with a new dimension. So they're all gonna modulate. What do you mean by modulate? Well, see all these lines going this way or this way? So this way I can actually snap it that way instead of cutting it with a razor blade, okay? Or I can snap it this way instead of cutting it with a razor blade. Okay, so it has this technology. Compared to our competitors, you have to cut it, okay? So I'm gonna lay out a couple sections. We obviously laid it. We're just trying to obviously speed up the course a little bit. So basically, you're gonna lay these with the Techniseal faced up, okay? So I'm gonna go down, and I'm gonna just go ahead and just start, okay? Just put it together like that. See how you got the tongue? Right, so if I'm gonna start my next row, I'm just gonna cut it right in half. And it's this one right here. And I'm just gonna keep going. You wanna make that bond. Same thing when you lay sod, right? You wanna have that bond. Okay, so you just keep going like that, all the way down. I mean, it's just, you just stagger it back and forth. Now, let's just say that I'm turning into a roadway, right? Or just you're turning somewhere. Two panels will equal one going that way.
And guys, this is not limited to just porcelain. Although it's recommended for doing porcelain applications, you could do this with pavers.
Again, the object of this product, this is a polypropylene material. It doesn't disintegrate, okay? So again, this product was designed to eliminate road base and excavation. So if you got somebody's backyard and you can't get a tractor back there, then you guys are manually digging, right? Manually bringing wheelbarrows of base. So that's where this comes in as a saver.
What is it? What is it within that, besides saying it's Techniseal? What is it with it? Because we know it's the best brand.
And think of it as a boat on water, right? It's a very large mass. Where's it gonna go, right? So it all depends on your, also too, depends on your soil condition. So if you got clay soils, which you guys really don't out here, you're gonna choose a fabric underneath, a geotextile fabric, woven or non-woven, okay? And then you put your inch of sand, half inch or inch of sand, and then you got your Nextbase, and then you got your porcelain tile or your paver, okay? So,
but it is more commonly used on porcelain.
Yeah, because porcelain is very precise, okay? All right, so we're gonna go ahead and lay some porcelain. So this is obviously on a sand set, right? This is sand. This is what you still consider sand set porcelain, but it's actually going on Nextbase, okay? So who's a porcelain installer can give me a hand?
He's already setting you up.
Okay, put it right here. Well, he's gonna drop that one down right here. And you can drop it right there. So we got these spacers. Let me see a spacer. So we have these spacers, guys, that actually go underneath the porcelain. How many guys install porcelain and make sure the spacer stays underneath? Okay, that is a must. You don't put the porcelain spacer on top. You got to keep the spacer underneath. Okay, because the number one thing is you want to keep your porcelain evenly spaced, especially when you're putting your polymeric sand and you're running the compactor. Your porcelain's not shifting. Okay, so we got two types. We got the rubber and we got the plastic.
And again, guys, what you're standing on here or seeing, this is Bellegarde Mirage porcelain, imported from Italy. It's got a really cool, unique texture on most of the profiles. You will come across, on most of the profiles, you'll come across where if you're standing on one unit, the replica of that unit is not found for about 15 other units. So it's got a lot of variety. And the one that they're putting in right now, this is called Silver Lake Orsi. It has a variation of a V4, which means it's significant variation. It moves around quite a bit. You'll see, we'll put a number of units down, and you know, you need to see a few units down to really see how much movement there is on this.
While they're installing that, we're going to talk about an option for edge restraint here, okay? So right now when you guys are laying porcelain, what are you guys doing for your edge restraint? Any ideas?
Concrete.
Is it low profile? Okay. So some of you guys are using a plastic edge restraint. I've seen some guys actually take this whole thing out and start mortar setting half of this, right? Which is a lot of work. So do you guys know that porcelain does not stick to concrete? So if you're gonna do that, you could do your concrete edge, but you're gonna have to bond it with thin set to concrete, okay? And so it's very similar to what we're gonna talk about when we get to this here in a bit. So this is another option. It's a low profile aluminum edge. Okay, you can bend it. You can make it curved any way you want. So it's a low profile aluminum edge. You can see we spiked it for the demo purposes. We went probably every 2. It depends on what you're doing. I mean, you probably can go every 3 or every 2 holes because you're really only pedestrian, right? So it's gonna spike, and I normally like to spike it in an angle. Everybody has their different ways, this way, that way. So basically, this is available. Just gotta get my distributor to start carrying it. So where's my distributors today? So we do have aluminum low profile edging if you need some, okay?